I'm Shayla Royals. I'm a single mum. I'm a mindset coach from Melbourne. I've trained a whole heap of different healing modalities over the years. And up until 3 years ago, I was working in a corporate environment, working in an office, too scared to back myself, too scared to do something with the skills that I had. I was low in self-worth, low in self-confidence, kind of in freeze mode, really. I didn't know what to do with what I had. And the work that I've done in the last few years on myself and taking that leap of faith in myself to start my own business has absolutely changed my life.
And it's not that I get what you said about low self-worth, and we can really feel alone, that we're alien on an alien planet when we have this feeling of low self-worth. I'm not good enough, I'm stuck in here. And even if we don't have a low self-worth feeling, we can still feel stuck in our prison, the prison that we created. Look at my life, I can't get out of here, I can't break free. And people think that they're alien when they're in that moment, but they're not. Welcome to the world. we all go through the exact same thing. No matter who we are, we all go through those emotions.
All changed in that first meditation mindset workshop that I went to. Went through one of the meditations, and I visualized a future that was different from the one I was living. And for the first time, it's actually the first time I was able to see that I can have whatever I want. I can be whatever I want. I don't have to be what I thought I was. I can be so much more than that. And that was the starting point for me to really awaken myself to the possibilities that there's more to life than what I was living. So absolutely, that was a starting point. And then from there, it was just, okay, I need more of this. I need more of this, because this is really propelling me forward. And it really helped me to create a future that I have now. I've completely shifted from where I was to where I am now, and that started shifting within months. And then, 3 years down the track, I'm living that dream that I saw in my head.
So when we run the workshop and we do some of the meditations, the guided meditations, the drive the bus meditation, for example, we're saying, okay, what's your dream? Now dream bigger. Now get back into your bus. So we're letting the meditating audience see themselves, visualize themselves sitting on a bus driving their life, whereas somebody else was sitting in the bus driving their life for all these years. So we allow them to visualize themselves pushing the person out of the seat, them taking the seat, driving the bus, and saying, right, we're going to drive down this road. Now, what's your dream? Well, what do you want to do? Think bigger than you've thought in the past. Think greater than that. Okay, now that you've got that dream, stay in the meditation. Now dream bigger. Hope is a clear reflection that the person that's hoping hasn't done the things that they want to do to turn the hope into a reality.
Yeah.
Right? So hope is a reflection of an action, right?
Yep, absolutely. I had so many fears around starting my own business. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how I was going to get clients. I didn't know how I was going to, reach people, or how I was going to bring them in. And while I was in that fear state and scared of everything and in scarcity and, looking at what everyone else is doing and comparing myself and, fear of judgment, fear of putting myself out there, all of that stuff just got in my way. So, I just unpacked so many things in order to be able to step out of that and go, do you know what? I have something of value here to offer. I have these, these gifts and these talents, and, all of the work that I've done leading up to now is, has given me this amazing skill set, and people need it. And when I came from that, instead, that I have something that people need, then people just started coming in.
How does it feel now, Shayla, to be able to live life by your terms after those years of being told, made, and feel, just by the cultural domain that we find ourselves in, that you can't do these things, and you're now doing these things? How does that feel?
Oh, it feels incredible. This is like, I really tapped into this emotion when I was creating my visualization for my future. And I have to pinch myself a lot, because I go, wow, I am actually living that. I can work from anywhere. I just need my laptop. I've got, multiple different, income streams that work through this. And, I just got back from a holiday in Port Douglas, and, my old scarcity mindset would have really been, I don't go on holidays. Rich people go on holidays. there was this whole thing growing up with parents that were, we never went anywhere. And here I am being able to do this, just for the fun of it. There wasn't a reason for me to go there other than to enjoy myself. And I really feel like I earned and deserved that. And it's a really proud and grateful place to be in, to know that I've created that, and that I get to choose when I work. I get to choose when I take a week off. I get to choose, how much effort I want to put in and how much energy, to bring income in. It's amazing level of freedom, and now I'm just like creating a higher one. I've got bigger dreams now. I've got to here, and now I'm like excited about what's happening next.
Most people suffer the indignity of emotional bankruptcy. So I call it emotional bankruptcy because we just don't live by our true passion. We don't live by the message from our heart. We don't live by our true desire. We have to make sure that we don't step outside the bounds of the culture, because if we do, we'll be laughed at, ridiculed, told we're no good, go home, go back to sleep, this is not for you. So when you talk about, being wealthy and rich, so being wealthy and rich is open to everybody, but being wealthy and rich starts internally. It starts inside by being emotionally rich and emotionally wealthy. And to enjoy emotional wellness, all we have to do is acknowledge the emotions that keep us broke, that keep us stuck. I'm talking about emotionally broken, emotionally stuck, as you did, acknowledging them and just realizing, hey, do you know what? Maybe there's nothing greater waiting for me, but what if?
Yes.
And what if turns into reality?
Yeah.
So people struggle with this, I want to do this thing, and they go, nah, do you know what? I can't do it. And I say, okay, fine, you can't do it. That's okay. So fall into, I can't do it. Allow yourself to think, I cannot do it. But ask yourself the lesser question, just what if? Because it's easier to change based on what if than it is on, hey, I've got this big vision and this big picture. Because if big picture and big vision was the next change, we'd all change.
Yeah.
So it seems too big. So the what if question opens that door for us and allows us to step out of that life that we have, and just to look behind the veil, to look behind the blinker just for a moment to see, hey, what's out there? And the moment that we do that, we can start to really become indoctrinated and infatuated with this whole new thing. Today, what would you say to your old self who was stuck in those years and didn't make the determination to change and didn't act on change? What would you say to that old you now?
Oh, 100% thank you. Thank you for the struggle. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the everything that I learned in that time that has brought me to this point where I'm now ready to step up into it. I couldn't have done it without having gone through all of that. And, taking a moment to acknowledge and become aware of what was holding me back. And you can't go from 0 to 100. You can't go from this mindset to that mindset. You have to have all the lessons in between, so that you upgrade on a pace that you can handle. And everything is just heading in that direction now, because I made the decision to change. And I did the what ifs. What if life didn't have to be like this? Because I think most people that are struggling in life, it's because they're innately living a life that doesn't work for them. They're innately trying to fit this program that they don't fit into. There's no passion. There's no, love for what they're doing. They have to go on 9 to 5 and do this, and then I get money, and then when I have money I can do things. It's like, well, what if you can do stuff that you love and make money at the same time? Like, you've got to break out of that mindset that this is all that life's about. Because when you step into your passion and excitement and in that whole new frequency, everything opens up for you.
So what would you say to your pain? And you said, I would say thank you. Some people would say, I would say to my pain, how dare you ruin my life? I'm not listening to you anymore. But in pain, it allows us to see what we don't want to live anymore. It allows us to reflect on who we don't want to be anymore. It allows us to give us an opportunity to escape from something, because we only want to escape from our pain. So pain is part of the journey. And you're right, we must acknowledge our pain, because we become wise, smarter, inspired, instilled, motivated because of our pain. It is their doorway. And most people don't realize when they're in pain, this is my elevator. I'm on the elevator. Most people use it as a downward elevator in pain, instead of using it as an escalating, a higher level elevator to go, okay, I'm in this pain, but what's it bring me? What's it doing for me? Where is it showing me? It reminds me of a great story that my mentor used to tell me, or a cliche, a kind of a motivational reminder that he used to share with me. And this is many, many years ago. And he was a really, really successful character, this guy. And when I met him, he was only 22, but just an extraordinary 22-year-old. Lived in a castle, had an amazing sports car, a Mercedes and a BMW and a sports car as a 22-year-old, and very charismatic. And a lot of people wanted to be part of him and his life and whatever. And for some reason, I was just blessed. He just took me in and said, I'm just going to rebuild you. Wow, what an experience. And then when we were parting ways, so he was going off on his life and I was leaving Europe now. I was going to live somewhere else. So I tried the US first, then I went to Spain to live there. Then I ended up in Australia and thought, okay, I'll stay here. And his message always kind of resonated and still rings in my head today. And he used to say to me, in your life, you're going to be faced with many opportunities like most people are. You got to explore all of those opportunities. You have to look at them. Don't discount them. And the one then that just rings a little bell in your head, just a little bell in your head. If you don't know how to do it and you don't have the time, do it. He said, when that little bell rings in your head with that opportunity that comes your way, so a lot of them you'll push out, but the one that rings the bell, if you don't know how to do it, you're afraid and you don't have the time, do it. That's the one you need to do.
Me from 3-4 years ago, and sit there and think, if I was looking at me now, I wouldn't even recognize myself, because I have changed in so many ways just because of the belief I had in myself and clearing all of that stuff. It's incredible to think how far I've come in such a short space of time. And something that someone said to me, which really kicked me up the backside at one point, was there are people out there with half your skills, half your talent, that are out there making a go of it because they believe they can. That's the difference, is, that they had the balls to do it and you didn't, and so it's all around us. You see people who aren't doing a great job of something, but they're out there doing it. They're making money from it. They're, living that life.
So do you feel more deserving now than you did when you were working in, stuck on the 9 to 5, conveyor belts?
Absolutely. Because what I realized about that, and these are, recent revelations, that money was always conditional. For me to earn money in a job, it was conditional on I had to be at an office every day. I had to do things I didn't want to do. I had to work for someone else. I had to deal with, what their expectations. I had to prove myself continuously. I had to do that. And what it does when you step out of that and you have the courage to back yourself instead of making someone else rich, and you step into that frequency, suddenly you realize how much freedom comes with that, because I get to choose how often I work. I get to choose now where I work from, and I can work from anywhere in the world on a laptop. So much freedom comes with that. So I've changed my belief system that money has to come from hard work and money has to come from someone else, and I have to work for someone to get that, to now I generate my own income. I choose what I want to do and how I earn my money, and it's so liberating.
Sure. And how difficult was it for you was there pain that you had to go through to change that whole mindset of thinking the old way, which is just part of our indoctrination, that we're raised, and for the first 18 years of our life, when you think about it, we've almost no chance, because for the first 18 years of our life, we're just indoctrinated with this thing. Hey, this is what you must do. This is how you must live, and you must fit into the culture. So we adapt to the culture. And if the culture says that this is the way that life should pan out, well, our dreams end up back in the past where they don't belong. We're never dreaming in the future. We're always dreaming in the past. So when you went through that, was there pain for you to get to that moment where you had a realization, or was it just instantaneous?
Look, a bit of both, really. There's definitely a lot of pain, because you realize that you've held yourself back for so long by this programming. And there's a lot of, realizations and aha moments and awareness of self-sabotaging behaviors and, things that you thought that really weren't helping you at all. They're just keeping you stuck in your comfort zone. They're keeping you stuck in that. And unraveling that has been really difficult. But now it's become a lot easier because it's now, okay, I don't necessarily need to be aware of the old belief systems. I just need to decide what I'm doing instead. I need to just go, right, this is what I'm doing, and back it up with action, rather than, oh, I can't do it because that's not what everyone else is doing, and I'm worried what people are going to think, or I'm worried about, all of that's gone now. It's just, I want to do this, I'm doing it. No fear.
Sure. And there's nothing broken about people who live like that. That's just left brain. It's actually how we're anatomically and neurologically structured to live in our left brain. That's why we have a left brain. It is designed for that. But the left brain uses that past indoctrination to build what we call our future. So it goes back into the blueprint, takes a copy of that blueprint, brings it into the present moment, past the moment of today, and builds tomorrow with it. So it's really difficult for some people, Shayla, to break that down and to challenge that and to bypass that and to rewire, that. Now,
I know what my life looks like in a year from now. If I don't do anything different, I'm going to be exactly the same with a couple more grey hairs. It's really easy to imagine what the future looks like if it's the same. But when you have the courage to step outside of that comfort zone, stop listening to those voices that tell you that you can't do it, and do that. What if I could? And just trust your gut. If it feels like something that you want to do, don't let yourself talk yourself out of it.
When I was getting into this whole world of communicating with people, so my mentor, who I just spoke about, he would put me in really difficult situations, and he was a great orator and a very charismatic guy, good looking fella, had the structure, probably almost a bit of an Elvis Presley look-alike. So he had everything. He had the castle, he had the cars, he had the looks, and he had the personality, like an amazing person, right?
Introduce me.
Right? Tell me about it. Yeah. And in doing that, I was very intimidated by that. Because he'd everything, he'd everything that I wanted to have. And what he would do is, he knew what my goal was without us ever talking about it. And my goal was, I wanted to be him. I wanted to be the educator, the motivator, the person that came into the room and people sat and listened to what he had to say, because I'd gone through school for years with the Christian Brothers, saying to my classmates, don't listen to him, he's stupid, don't hang out with him. If you hang out with him, you get punished. So I had to fit into this world that they were trying to not allow me to fit into. And because of that, I became this kind of, how would you say it? I wanted to prove them wrong. And my mentor kind of picked that up. And what he would do is he would have me in a room with people that he'd be speaking to, in this business that him and his family owned. And he would be in there as part of the drive behind this manufacturing business that they own, with a lot of people working for them. And then he'd say, now Ray will take over and tell you the rest. And I would faint and collapse and pass out. So I knew he would say to me, when you're in pain like this, you're learning. When you're getting nervous like this, you're learning. Thank heavens I'd done it when I was nervous. Thank heavens I'd done it when I thought that I couldn't do it. So, anybody who thinks that I can't do this, that is exactly the thing that you need to do.
Yep.
Because that is who you really are. So when something in your head says to you, I can't do this, that's your authentic, real you speaking to you, saying, this is what you need to do. And then the ego transfers and manipulates and molests that language into something else that speaks out to you, where your intuition is saying, this is what you should be doing. This is where you need to be going. And then the left brain molests that information and translates it to, this is not for you. You're not good enough. You'll never make it. That internal subvocal narrative is your intuition speaking to you.
I am living the dream. I'm living what I created, and it feels amazing. I'm so proud of myself, so grateful, and so happy to be here.